What's up, guys? The Flying Tech here, and today we're going to be checking out the Swift DL1600 by DLFPV. So let's get right into it. Alright, guys. So we've got what looks like a Tiny Whoop type clone. This is very similar to the Tiny Whoop. So first and foremost, this kit does come with a 4.3 inch LCD screen for FPV. This is 5.8 gigahertz receiver. It does have a built-in battery. It is rechargeable. There's the micro USB right there that you're going to charge it with. Comes with an antenna, probably like a 5 dB antenna. Right on the back, you've got the on-off switch. In the front, you've got some of the other switches to change channels, etc. If we go a little deeper, here is the TX that it comes with. It's a little, what would you say, Xbox or PlayStation 2-esque with some of the way that the controller's set up. I kind of like that. It actually is very comfortable in the hands. Next up is the holder for the FPV screen. It's just going to go ahead and slide right in here just like this. And you're going to screw it down to make sure it stays in place. Take the screen, pop it in, and there you go. Simple as that. It's in there pretty good too. As far as accessories, you get the charger that comes with it, as well as a set of extra props. And believe it or not, they were pretty generous and gave you 2 batteries with this kit. I can only assume that means they realized that the 3 to 5 minutes is just not enough for flying this thing. So that was pretty cool of them to include 2 batteries. I like that. Next up, you get the instruction booklet. Obviously, it's going to tell you everything that the quad does. We'll go over a few of its features quickly in a minute here. And then there's the quad itself. Like I said, it's very Tiny Whoop-esque. It has that Tiny Whoop style or form factor. It's obviously bigger than the Tiny Whoop. I'm wondering how the motors are going to do. They are like twice the size. This thing's probably going to be a beast. The camera is a 600 TV line camera, also 5.8 gigahertz, obviously. I believe it is 25 milliwatts. It is an all-in-one. You can move it up and down. So, if you're more of a racer, you move it up. A little bit more of a casual flyer, you're going to be able to move it down. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Also, it comes with a dipole antenna rather than the clover, which I prefer. So some of the features of this guy is it's got 360-degree flip, 1-key hovering. Pretty sure it also has the 1-key start, 6-axis gyro. I don't know that I'm going to be doing any of the tricks, but maybe, you never know. Charge time. Charge time is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. Flight time, 3 to 5 minutes. Pretty standard stuff here. Another funny thing I'd like to mention is lately when receiving these packages for review, I've been getting some wacky stuff. I don't know if you remember when I reviewed the Ishin E56, they sent a packet of lavender, of all things. Well, this time, these guys have, I don't know if it was by accident or on purpose, but they've actually included a sticky note pack. And you can see right here on the back, it has Chinese or Asian writing. So this is not a prop. I did not put this in with this review. I legitimately got this, and I honestly don't know why. I'll have to ask the manufacturer. All right, guys. I'm sure you want to see how it functions, how everything looks, how the FPV looks. So let's go ahead and set up the FPV and take it for a flight. All right, guys. So the controller buttons are pretty simple. You got your aileron trim, your rudder trim, your elevator trim. This is going to be to reset the gyro. These buttons here are to do tricks. This big DLFPV button is to turn the TX on and off. These 2 buttons here say function in reserve. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe that is a function for another quad in the future? Probably. One thing I forgot to mention is that this quad has 3 different speed settings. You've got low, medium, and high, and you'll know this by the color indication as well as the sound. You've got low, 2 for medium, 3 for high. Again, that's 1 for low, 2 for medium, 3 for high. Green, yellow, red. All right, guys, as you can see, I've got it turned on. You can see the FPV on the screen here. I'm going to be using my Fat Shark goggles to not only FPV fly, but also to record this, as I don't really prefer using a screen, but some of you guys might, so this might be a good option for you. Do the 1-key start. All you do is press this button here, so watch. And there you go. That's also going to be your emergency stop button. All right, let's take it for a flight. Final thoughts. So my final thoughts on this quad is that it is not a tiny whoop. Believe it or not, the tiny whoop is a little bit more agile, can get into tighter spaces, just seems to feel a little bit more fluid than this guy does. This isn't a bad flyer, but I do notice that it does have a slight latency on the inputs when I put in the sticks. It's also not good in the wind, so you're going to want to fly this when it's very calm out. The range wasn't great. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. If I went behind any objects like vehicles or the house, I was definitely noticing some kind of disconnect. You'll know when the battery's gonna die too, because the thing just diesels on you. The propellers will just start spinning out of nowhere. You'll have no input from the sticks. So I really didn't like that either, but it doesn't take off into the clouds. It's just letting you know it has very little power. Otherwise, it's great for beginners. I would say this is definitely a nice little setup. It does come with the screen. You get a controller with it, so you're not controlling it from a phone, which I like. It is very durable. It's going to take a beating for sure. I love that it comes with the all-in-one camera already built in. So if you're looking for something that's a good starter pack, this is it. Intermediate, expert, probably not for you. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this review. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Leave all comments below. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you know when we're dropping awesome content. And with that, guys, as always, happy flying.